thought you told it at home.
So,
wait, let me turn the remote.
this was a Hungarian. This is a Hungarian corn breeder, and he was he travels a lot to Russia, or he used to travel a lot to Russia. And he said, I learned an important lesson on this trip. So he said he had eaten something that didn't agree with him. So on the plane, he had started getting sick, and he had diarrhea. He was not going to throw up. He had diarrhea. So he was, and the plane was delayed. When it landed, and then they took forever to taxi. So when he got off the plane, he was looking for a bathroom very, very fast. And this was in Krasnodar, one of the smaller Russian cities. And he's going through the airport, and he finds the bathrooms, and he opens the door to the bathroom, and somebody has removed all the light bulbs. So it's completely dark, completely dark. And the only light is when he opens the door, he can, it kind of illuminates the bathroom. And so he opens the door and he looks under the doors of the stalls to see one that no one's in. And he gets his line for that door. And then he rushes to that door as the door is closing. But he notices as he's getting there, the floor has a lot on it. It's quite squishy. It's wet and it's squishy. And he gets into that stall. He gets into that stall, and he has a bathroom. And unlike Chinese bathroom, there's a toilet there. It's not a.
You can actually sit on it.
Yes.
It was
And
real.
so, but
he
he knows how much is on the floor, and he doesn't really want to know what's on the floor. So he said, I thought it was a good thing there were no lights. But so he's maneuvering, so he's holding his pants so they don't touch the floor. And he's just got himself settled when the door opens again. And there's the illumination, and he thinks, oh.
But hardly any illumination, right? Because
Not
such
a
a big figure.
Well, there was illumination, and the door opened. He thought, well, there's lots of bathrooms here. I'll be fine. And then he hears the squishing, and it's coming right towards him. And he's thinking, no, they won't come here. And suddenly, as the door is closing and there's very little light left, the door to his stall comes barging open, and he comes face to face with a large Russian woman who's got the same problem he does. And she has prepared herself by already pulling up her skirt and turning around. And so, in the last light before the door is closing, he sees this enormous white Russian ass coming towards him, prepared to fire. And in that moment, he said, I had to decide between dropping my pants into the floor and putting my arms up, or just hoping. And he said, I dropped my pants, and I said, no, and I stopped her with my hands, and fortunately, I stopped her before she let loose. And
I think the solution would have been for him to just open his legs. Ew. Two people can use this.
But it turns out the floor was as big.
And you don't know if a direction is correct.
Yeah, you don't.
But he said his pants were completely covered with something he would rather not think about. And he had to put them back on and continue his journey. So he said, I always carry an extra pair of pants now when I go to Russia.
But much better than getting shit on by some weird Russian woman.